How do there, guys, and welcome back to Edgar TV. And today what we're going to do is talk about some funny, crazy things that people have said in interviews after darts matches, either for reasons they lost or for things that didn't go quite well within the game. Now, I've been around the sport on the professional side for 10 years, first started on the PC since 2011. I have heard some outrageous things. However, I'm not going to use those and dig those. I'm basically just going to give you ones that have been publicised in the media already, things you may not know about because they happened a while ago. Now, these are not going to be things that are environmentally caused. You know, we've got things such as the board, you know, having a bounce out or things at the right moment could be a reason for losing, you know, even though it's just one dart, it could be vital. Things happening in the crowd, conditions such as the weather, these are factors, but they're uncontrollable factors, and they're not factors that have been brought on by things that have happened between players. So I'm going to ignore all of those, and we're just going to pick out some funny ones that have happened throughout the years. The first one involves the man on your screen right now, Rick Hofstra, who was making his BDO World Championship debut back in 2004, and Mervyn King. Now, what happened in this game is they was both on stage playing the game. It got to 1-all, and Mervyn King said that the hockey was too short, and the game had to be stopped so that they could measure it. So yeah, the game was stopped, both players left off and went off stage. They got a tape measure out, measured the hockey and everything, measured the board, and everything was fine. Now, I can see how this could happen. Like, sometimes the perception of the board seems very different when you get on stage, and certainly it might have felt different to the practice boards, or one of the practice boards might have been slightly out, maybe just slightly a bit long, perhaps, which made this illusion and made this feel, or it might have just been, like, say, the illusion and the feel, but the game was stopped in the mid part at 1-all for the board to be measured. Now, there's no video of this or anything on YouTube, actually. 2004, probably a bit early, and especially for like your darts incidents and moments to pick that up. But there are plenty of news articles available. This one's in the Times that just talks about basically what happened, and there's plenty of other documents about this on Google if you want to research a little bit further. Quite possibly one of the most famous interviews of all time happened with Wayne Mardle over in Holland. There was a bit of a cross-code event back then where BDO and PDC sort of played off in an event. Wayne Mardle lost to Co Stompy in that game. He came on the screen, and you've seen it. If you haven't, go watch this. It is all over YouTube. He came into the studio ranting, swearing. It was brilliant. Didn't realise he was live, and then they said he was live. That's this picture right now on screen. He's like, ooh, okay. Just ran with it in the end. It was absolutely brilliant, absolute gold dust of an interview. But if you put all that aside and you work through that, there was something in there that I think most dart players are very familiar with. Anyone who's played darts will be very, very familiar with this situation. Wayne Mardle in that interview was asked, is there any reason for why you're playing this bad, or something along those lines? And his answer was, yes, Co was that bad, I just imagined he wasn't there. Come on, you've all said it. My opponent was that bad, I lost the game. I lost the game because he was bad. It made me worse. We've all said it. We've all been there. Come on, hands up, hands up. Now, when darts makes a national press, you know something's going right. Right? Well, 2018, darts made the national press. You can see here, BBC, The Sun, the Daily Star, the Mirror, Vice, Daily Record. This made it all the way to the New York Times. Gary Anderson versus Wesley Harms. The interviews are right there. They're absolutely brilliant. Go click on them and go have a look. Basically what happened in this game is Wesley Harms did an interview and accused Gary Anderson of farting on the stage, which caused a smell that was distracting him and putting him off. The interviewer then asked Gary Anderson later on, and Gary blamed Wesley Harms. So they was both on stage blaming each other. Well, not on stage, but in the interviews afterwards. Both blaming each other. It was very distracting, and, you know, Wesley contributed his loss to that fart. Later on, as you can see, it was a security guard actually in the front who did it, and it sort of wafted onto the stage. But that's not the only time farting has been accused on stage. Back in the day when Phil Taylor was just a measly 11-time world champion, there were some accusations going around about Phil Taylor, and around the same sort as the Gary Anderson Wesley Harms way. This was by Alex Roy, so the two played in the World Championships, like I say, back when Phil Taylor was just a measly 11-time world champion. And here's the news article and report from it. Darts ace Phil Taylor was yesterday accused of putting his opponents off by blowing wind. Rival claims it needs to be clamped down. Phil is a great player, but he's very flatulent. There's a couple of things in here that I really like it, because I suppose he can't help it. I don't know what his pre-match meal is, but maybe he should consider changing it. It's beans or Brussels sprouts by the sounds of this sort of report. It says Taylor dominated the game for more than a decade, hits blacks by smelling. He who smelt it, dealt it. Very good claim there. You know, I'd probably say the same thing, to be fair. Said, I'm a gentleman, never would resort to understand tactics. The only aroma around me was the smell of success. And it was just a little back and forward here. You see Alex Roy. Everyone trumps, but there's a time and a place for it. He shouldn't do it on stage. I thought the ref was about to keel over, and people in the front row was right in the firing line. Now, that would be something different to get, wouldn't it? You know, sometimes if you go to like a concert or something, you might sometimes get like a bit of water on you, or, you know, I've never thought of like going to a darts match and sit in front row and be like, oh, who's that? Is that you? No, I think that's Phil. I think that's Phil. That'd be brilliant, you know. Be a story to tell, wouldn't it? Be a story to tell. If you do like looking at some of these moments from the past, I do recommend going and checking out this YouTube channel here, Darts Moments and Incidents, or Incidents and Moments, should I say. Really good. It sort of, everything that happens either on the Pro Tour or on stage always gets uploaded on here, so that would be a really good one if you enjoy that sort of thing and you like a bit of controversy. This has been Edgar TV. Hope you've enjoyed it. There's just a couple of moments there for you. Measuring the hockey, farting, opponents played so bad. Dart player excuses, we've got loads of them, haven't we? Oh, it's too cold. Oh, I've got the wrong darts. Oh, I had to work an extra hour today. You've heard them all down the pub. If you've heard a great excuse, guys, please let me know in the comment section below. Let's share some of those excuses. Let's see what's going on in the world of darts. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you soon for some more Edgar TV.